Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I will be talking about my experience owning a Nissan 300ZX Z32. So if you're new to the channel, this is my 1991 Nissan 300ZX Z32 2+2. 2+2 meaning it's the 4-seater rather than the 2-seater. This car is the color code for this car is AH3, so cherry red pearlescent. And yeah, I just want to talk about my experiences. Coming towards 3 years, it's about 2.5 years I've owned this car. And this car has changed a lot for those of you who've actually seen this car when I first got it. I had a black front bumper. This nose panel here, it was blue. It didn't have the JDM taillights or the spoiler. They didn't have the clear corners. There's a lot of stuff that was done after. So first off, I would just like to say that this car does grab a lot of attention, of course. Being a 90s legend, it does grab a lot of attention. Car meets, on the road. And yeah, I mean, that's what you kind of expect owning a car like this, especially from this era. You expect people to be giving thumbs up. You get thumbs up everywhere. You get cool car. A lot of people come and ask about the car at car shows and stuff like that. Of course, driving with the T-tops off is phenomenal. It's like a dream, and I'm sure this is with every T-top car. T-top cars are just, I would say, arguably one of the nicest cars you can get, because it keeps like a very sleek, very sleek look while still being convertible-ish, if you want to use the word convertible. And of course the glass roof, you can see through it, which is pretty cool. If you don't want to have the T-tops off, you can just, look through the roof. And this car is very clean for its age. The paint isn't the greatest, of course, but the car has just below 100,000 kilometers. In fact, I believe it's only 300 kilometers off from 100,000 kilometers, which is very low for this year of car. And my experiences maintenance wise is a complete nightmare. This car was not happy for a while. There's a bunch of stuff wrong with it, but that's, of course, with owning any project car, you expect there to be some kind of maintenance you have to do, sometimes a little more than you expect, especially with this car. And I mean, with this car's age, trim will deteriorate, like fuel lines, a bunch of stuff needs to be redone. That's pretty normal for these cars. It's not even just specifically a Japanese thing. It's, all the cars from this era will need repairs and stuff. So yeah, and of course, seeing how far this car has come when I first got it, it is very nice. I will share pictures of it. I think the main reason why people are scared to own these cars, of course, is the engine bay. A lot of people are scared of this car because there's not much room to work. Sunlight's not on here, but you can clearly see there's not much room to work. And I feel like that's why a lot of people are actually, not why this car didn't catch on. It was that's probably the main reason. But other than that, the car is still a great car, still kept up with all those cars of that time period. So I feel like, eventually cars like this, the 3000 GT, what's another good example? The Subaru SVX. There's the yeah, I'd say those are the main three cars that didn't catch on too quickly, and it's still not caught on yet, but they're starting to. Is the 300ZX, the 3000 GT, and the SVX. Of course, the Z31, the older generation of this, is also, fairly rare. People rather go for the S30 to S130, which is the 240 to 280Z cars, opposed to these 300ZX or you know, they'll go for the 350, 370, or the new Nissan Z. We haven't really seen too many Nissan Zs here. In fact, I've only ever seen one or two of them. I think maybe one on the road. That's about it. But these cars will eventually start catching on. So, and you are starting to see more that a lot of people cannot afford Supras and stuff. They're going to these cars. So another thing I did want to cover is how hard is it to find parts. Now, great question, because these cars are rare, and with them being rare, of course, parts are hard to come by. If you know the right people, like I know a lot of people who sell parts for these, so I'm fine. If you know the right people, of course, these cars, you can find parts for them fairly quickly. But again, it depends on your country, it depends on who you know. But even then, you can still go to websites like Z1 and Concept Z. Z1 and Concept Z usually have all the parts for this car, including stuff like, you know, really hard to find stuff like the like a mint condition third brake light. If you remember, this panel right here under the spoiler over the taillights was broken on my original piece. The original piece was broken, but yeah, you know, what can you do? That's very common as well, is that people, rather than, like, people hold onto it and pull from the actual brake light, which is what causes the brake light to snap. I did want to go over common mods for this car, which are like, visually, mainly you see like a lot of people going for these J-spec taillights. Of course, everyone loves to go with the front clear corners, because the front clear corners are way better than the USDM corner lights. JDM nose panels are usually what people go with. This is not a JDM nose panel. This is just a nose panel with a 350Z emblem on it. And I think the other thing is J-spec front bumpers. I'll put on a picture of a J-spec front bumper. That is really started to catch on. People really love the look of the 99 version of this car, which was only in, I believe, only in Japan. So those are just common mods and stuff. That's kind of what I wanted to go over in this video. Well, I can't really say much about pricing, because again, it depends on the car's condition, depends on where you're from. I think he just curbed his wheel. Yeah, so I believe that's not really worth going over. That's more of a thing you just look at your local websites or whatever you use to sell cars. For example, here in Canada, we use Facebook Marketplace and Kijiji. I'm not too sure what they use in the States, but use whatever you have, you can kind of get an idea. Or of course, you can look at Haggerty and see what Haggerty values cars at. Haggerty's values are usually fair. But that's what I wanted to go over. Thank you guys for watching my video. If you want to see more Z32 content, of course, subscribe, leave a like, comment. All of that support really does help me. And I'll see you guys in the next video.